All right, let's do a spin and see what the next deck we're playing is. It's the Flumph combo. All right, so the Flumph combo is based around the Flumph, 2 mana 0/4 with Defender and Flying. Whenever it's dealt damage, you and target opponent each draw a card. So how do you win with that? Well, you have Orcish Bowmasters when it enters the battlefield and whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, Orcish Bowmasters deals 1 damage to any target, then amass Orcs 1. So you have Flumph, you have Orcish Bowmasters, you target Flumph, Flumph triggers, makes your opponent draw a card, and you triggers the Bowmasters, targets the Flumph, triggers, back and forth. However, the Flumph does only have 4 toughness, meaning this can only go off 4 times before Flumph dies. So you need a way to give Flumph indestructible. You have thus multiple ways to do this in Selfless Savior, which can sack to give another creature indestructible, or Boromir, which can sack to give all your creatures indestructible. You then kill your opponent by decking them out. Now, what if your opponent has more cards than you do? Previous versions of this deck used to play 63 cards so that you'd be up on cards, but that just seems kind of bad, so instead, we'll just run 2 copies of Endurance. And then what we can do is simply draw. Eventually, we can just Endurance ourselves, put cards back into our deck, and then we'll have more cards than our opponent. Rest of the deck, we have Aether Vial, because we want to be able to vial out the Flumph at instant speed along with other creatures. 1 copy of Giver of Runes to protect Orcish Bowmasters / Flumph. We have Ranger Captain, which can protect us from non-creature spells during our combo turn, and it goes and fetches Selfless Savior, which we can use to combo with the Flumph. We have Imperial Recruiter, which can fetch either of our combo pieces or Selfless Savior. Endurance, of course. 4 copies of Grist for just value in general. And Coco to try to Coco into the combo, or just other value stuff. And then 23 lands in varying colors with some red shocks in order to play Imperial Recruiter, but mostly Abzan cards. In the sideboard, Barrington Forge Tender for red decks, Giant Killer for giant killer things, 4 Drannith Magistrates for the Cascade decks, 4 Sanctifier Onfex for Scam, Knight of Autumn, and Haywire Might. So let's jump into a Modern League with Flumph combo. All right, we have most of our combo pieces, but we are missing Flumph, but I think it's good enough to keep. We are on the draw, but that's fine, so we'll keep this. Spirebluff Canal, so it's probably Murktide. Yeah, Ragavan. I guess, no, I'm just going to kill it with Bowmasters next turn, right? So let's just play Marsh Flats and fetch a basic Swamp and play Aether Vial. Yeah, so fetch, Swamp, play Aether Vial, go. I could play Selfless Savior, but then it probably just dies to removal. No real reason to do that. Like, I can take a hit from Ragavan and then we just Bowmaster it. Triggers. What do they exile? They exiled Ranger Captain, sure. Flooded Strand. Have to fetch the turn 1 Swamp in case they have Blood Moon. Preordain. Plays Ledger Shredder. Alright. So Aether Vial ticks up. Add a counter here. Alright. Windswept. Let's fetch a Plains. And then just play Bowmasters now before they have protection. So kill Ragavan and then pass it back to them. And oh my god, Bowmasters is so good against Ledger Shredder. Yep. So pro tip. Cards that draw extra cards and are X1s are unplayable in the Bowmaster world. So let's see. Sanctifier is actually not actually that good against their deck because they mostly fly and a bunch of blue spells. So let's see. Giant Killer gets rid of Murktide. Barrington Forge Tender protects from burn spells and can block Ragavan. But then I think all the rest of this doesn't matter. So what is bad here? Grist seems okay. Maybe I don't need all 4 of them, though. I don't know. Cut a Grist, cut a Boromir. Have to keep my main combo intact. And I do want Giver of Runes on turn 1. Cut Imperial Recruiter. Like, they're a very interactive matchup, so... That's probably fine. All right, let's run that. This hand is... Is it fine? I have Flumph to block, and then I have a Grist that I can use to sack stuff. It's just not that good of a hand, though. Like, it's okay. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it. Imagine being a modern Murktide player, taking the summer off and playing Magic, then coming back to this environment. Imagine being any Magic player and coming back after Lord of the Rings and finding out that X1s are unplayable, unless they're literally win-the-game Ragavans. All right, so once again, we're going to take a hit from Ragavan. And once again, if they just turn 2 Blood Moon us, I have to have a basic up, so I just have to pass with Windswept Heath rather than play a Shockland tapped. Although if they Blood Moon us here, we're still probably pretty screwed. Oh, I should have brought in anti-Blood Moon stuff. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I definitely should have brought an anti-Blood Moon card. So I should have brought in Haywire Might, at least as a one of. Trigger Ragavan, exiling Imperial Recruiter, which they could actually play to go fetch something. Preordain, Odawara. All right. Well, we're going to fetch a basic. I guess we're not. All right. So let's just go grab 2 basics right now. So fetch a Plains and then fetch a Forest. And let's see if they counter Flumph. All right. Play Flumph. Stern Scolding. All right. Hits us with Ragavan again. Exiles Burnton Forge Tender, which I don't imagine they want to cast. Oh, they are casting it? Huh. That surprises me. All right, do I just play Grist here? Again, I just can't get through counter spells, but Ranger Captain doesn't get hit by Stern, but it still gets hit by everything else. What am I even captaining for if I play Captain? All right, let's play Captain. It resolves. So let's go grab, I guess Burnton. I guess Burnton or just Selfless Spirit to set the combo up. Nah, let's just grab Selfless Savior. That's fine. All right, back to them. There's always the argument of grabbing Giant Killer in case they play Murktide. Fury. All right, sack Ranger Captain. They exiled another Ragavan. All right, we take 3 and go to 9. They get another treasure, exile another card, exile Selfless Savior. Seems decent enough to me. So I guess I just play 2 Flumphs on my turn. I just can't keep getting beaten down by all of this aggression. Cast the Selfless Savior. Oh, they're going to tap out? For what? Murktide with only 2 counters on it. So if I Coco right now, that doesn't actually help me not lose. So what's the best thing I do? I go Shock, Grist, Selfless Spirit, or Selfless Savior, sack, kill Murktide. Then Grist dies and I take another 3 and I go to 6. But I have to get this off the field, or what's the alternative? Because if they just untap with counter spells up and then I can't get rid of Murktide, then I'm dead. Oh wait, no, I have to Shock this in order to do everything. Hitting Bowmasters here would be pretty good off of Coco. I get to kill Ragavan and at least target one of these other things. Then the Murktide hits us to 2. Well, that gives us the best chance of actually comboing next turn. No, I actually can't get the Flumph going, right? Because I have to have Bowmasters after I have Flumph in play. So I just don't have any good options. All right, let's just kill the Murktide. So Shock this in, play Grist, play Selfless Savior, minus, sack the creature, kill Murktide. All right, they can just Selfless it. How did I forget that they could do that? All right, well, we're dead. What if I'd Coco'd instead? That would have also not been very good. All right, so 1 Haywire Might to eat Blood Moon. And what else? Just another Recruiter can come out, probably. I don't know. All right, run this. All right, we're on the play. This hand is garbage. Mull this. This hand is still not very good, but will not go to 5. So keep this and bin not sure what. I guess Marsh Flats, probably. Keep. All right, bin Marsh Flats. Let's play this tapped, go, and then we'll run out Flumph. Plays DRC. Bauble, Surveil. Leaves it on top. Cracks the Bauble. So they know we're drawing a Forest, sure. All right, play Flumph. Back over to them. Plays another DRC. Plays a Misty, cracks Misty, gets an Island, choosing not to attack, playing Preordained Double Surveil. All right, so they put Ragavan in the yard, so they're going to have Delirium next turn. Or they have Delirium now, and they're going to attack next turn. Okay, well, we just need to go grab the Selfless Spirit, or the Selfless Savior, rather, and then pass it back to them. So I guess no blocks here, and then my turn, sack Ranger Captain. Opponent fetches. Unholy Heat on Flumph. Well, unfortunate. Yeah, all right, that resolves. Flumph triggers. We each draw. Grist is an okay draw here. Preordain. So binning a lot of stuff. All right, and then we take 6 in the air from the DRCs. So they still have a blue open, which means they could have Stern Scolding. The most mana-efficient play has to be 1-drop Grist, right? So let's go to combat. Attack with Ranger Captain. I don't think it can possibly be correct to sack the Ranger Captain here, though. Maybe it's just play Recruiter, go grab Flumph, play Selfless Savior. All right, so Recruiter. Oh, they just have Stern Scolding. Yep. All right, Savior, and then go. So I guess what? So now I go Bowmasters plus Grist. Another Darcy. Well, go to combat. Swing with Ranger Captain. All right, I guess I have to do this because otherwise I just die if they have a counterspell. So sack Ranger. Responds with Cast into the Fire on Selfless Savior. Surveil, Surveil, Surveil. All to the top. I guess that's fine. Yeah, sure. Resolve this. Then we go fetch, grab a swamp, then Grist, Orcish Bowmasters, target you, then minus on Grist, eat the token, kill a Darcy. All right, back to them. We either just go to 1 or they kill Grist and we go to 4, and then we're still in the same position. All right, they put us to 1. Let's have Lightning Bolt. All right, on to round number 2. All right, we are on the play for round 2. I have 2 pieces of the combo and 5 lands. I do get to redraw with the Flumph, although that's not very good. So I just need to draw anything that finds the last piece. All right, I'll keep it. So I need to fetch what? White something else so I can run up Flumph out on turn 2. So Windswept, pass to the opponent. Marsh Flats from the opponent, fetch. Blood Crypt. Are we about to get scammed? Oh. What are the odds I can recover from this versus keeping information hidden? All right, I'll just concede. So versus scam, they have Blood Moons, so I do need to answer Blood Moon. Sanctifier Onvec comes in. This is relevant if they scam a guy in. Also, Burnt and Forge Tender is relevant. So yeah, this kills Fury and Grief if they're scammed. Also Shieldred. So I want all of that. Boromir out. How useful is Grist? It's probably fine. What do I cut here? Shaven Endurance. All right, I'll cut Grist. And then what else? Giver of Runes? Maybe? I don't know. Probably not. Is Aether Vial bad? Like, it's just a top deck that does nothing against the deck that shreds your hand? Shave one of them. Maybe I just shave a bunch. Shave Selfless Savior. I can just tutor Selfless Savior. Yeah, let's just shave a bunch of these. I guess Boromir is good against Evoke guys, but like not until later. All right, let's run that. All right, this is fine. Play this, play Aether Vial, pass to them. Swamp, Grief. All right, we're getting scammed again. What do they take here? Coco and Ranger Captain probably. They exiled, terminate, sure. They took Forge Tender of all things. So Forge Tender and Coco, or Forge Tender and Ranger Captain. Aether Vial, take it up. Well, there's Imperial Recruiter, so we just pass back to them. Opponent fetches, grabs a Blood Crypt, dashes a Ragavan. All right, takes 6, go to 14, trigger Ragavan, exiles a Flumph. All right, let's fetch a red source in case I draw another land for Imperial Recruiter. So this one, tapped. Aether Vial, go up to 2. This has been horrible, so back to them. Not dashing the Ragavan this turn, which tells me what? It's Blood Moon, or just like a bigger drop. Fable, sure. Plays Ragavan normally. We literally go to 1 at this point, although I can block a thing. All right, go up to 3 counters. We still haven't drawn Dick, so let's see. I can Recruiter right now and put Flumph into play. All right, Aether Vial, Recruiter, trigger, grabbing Flumph. Or I can grab Sanctifier. Sanctifier is actually probably better. They just can't kill it with anything. Yeah, all right. Grab Sanctifier, play Sanctifier, pass back to them. Discards a Ragavan. Just swings with everything anyway. All right. Block Ragavan, block Shaman token. Kill both of those guys, go to 5 off the Grief. Fetches. Do they just have Shieldred here? No, another Grief. Okay. But now we have to block double Menace. I can grab another Sanctifier, and then the Fable flips over, and then I have to deal with that. I need to draw a 3rd land, I guess, so that I can Ranger for a Giant Killer, and then, yeah. All right, there's a land. So I go Ranger for Giant Killer, and then kill this Grief, I guess. And then they have a Reflection and a Grief. So then I have to dual block here, or put up more creatures next turn. All right, so fetch. We don't have a black mana yet, so let's grab Swamp. Then Vial, put Ranger Captain into play. Trigger. I can also grab Haywire Might to eat the... I guess I can do Haywire... No, I can't Haywire Might next turn because it becomes a creature. If I grab Haywire Might, Haywire this, then I have to... Then I'm at 6, and I have to dual block this, so if they have any removal spell to kill the Ranger Captain, I lose the game. So yeah, let's just grab Giant Killer, and then chop down the Grief. And then over to them. So next turn, I can Aether Vial in Recruiter, and then grab Bowmasters, which lets me have enough blockers up, potentially. Hard casting Fury. You've got to be kidding. That was their top deck. All right. So then Fury comes in, and I have to be able to... And then Grief takes us to 1. So I'm just dead. I'm just dead. The Reflection just reflects, hits everything. What's the best thing I can do? Because they can copy the Fury. So any blockers that I put down main phase just die. Ugh. So I can play Giant Killer, and then let's say they copy Grief, right? If they copy Grief, I Recruiter, I get Bowmasters, I play Bowmasters, I have 5 blockers, and I can block everything. If they copy Fury, they kill the Giant Killer. Then I Recruiter for Bowmasters, play Bowmasters, and I can still block everything. All right, so I have to play Giant Killer and then just pass. All right, back to you. Copies Fury. Fury kills the Giant Killer. All right, Vial, put Recruiter into play, trigger, grab Bowmasters, cast Bowmasters. I have to kill off Grief here, so trigger. I have to double block Grief anyway, so I don't need to actually shoot anything but them. So shoot them, then go to blocks, and I have to block with everything. So it doesn't matter where I block as long as Grief dies. So, because none of these are going to die. Block, block. I don't think I can do anything differently. All right, those are all the blocks. Then I Ranger Captain for what? Burrington Forge Tender, which is immune to Fury. Tap land. Another on Sanctifiers. Fantastic. What am I Ranger Captaining for? Nothing that I can play right now, so I can just hold Ranger Captain until I grab something. All right, so play another Sanctifier and pass. I'm probably just going to go grab Haywire Might so that I have access to gaining life and therefore... Or maybe I just, grab Selfless Savior so that the Ranger Captain can survive a Fury. All right, looks like it's back over to us. So Aether Vial, use, grab Ranger Captain, trigger. Because any land that I draw that's a fetch land means that I can't cast Coco immediately. Although I can't really do that with Haywire Might either. So maybe I just... No, yeah, I grab Selfless Savior, play it, and then I have one of my combo pieces, plus I can save Ranger Captain against a Fury, although they can just copy it and then not attack. So that's not even very good. So maybe I just grab Forge Tender? I don't know. Nah, let's just try to have the combo ready. Although, again, with this out, I can never have it ready. So no. Endurance, which we can't cast. I can attack them. There's no point in doing that. So I can Vial out Endurance. Play this. They go copy Fury, target your guys, and I go save Ranger Captain. And then I have a free blocker. Then they just swing in, and I Vial out Endurance. I lose if they have removal spells. So yeah, I just pass it back, and then I guess Ranger Captain gets killed. And, oh yeah, they can end step copy it. I forgot about that. Well, I can still Vial out Endurance, but it means I can't double block the original Fury now, which sucks. That sucks so bad. Oh man, that sucks so bad. But I couldn't have done anything differently anyway. Oh, and it's Dothy Voidwalker. So I can't even block next turn anyway. Oh no, they can just copy Dothy and then I lose. Why are they not just copying Dothy? They could literally just copy Dothy and then they would have won the game. All right. Well, they just didn't do that for some reason, so whatever. I can Vial in Endurance, but to what end? They just copy Fury and kill it on end step anyway. All right, whatever. Aether Vial. Yeah, okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. Back to us. There's Bowmasters, but it unfortunately doesn't matter because I can't kill Dothy off. All right, over to them. Yeah, whatever. I'm not waiting. They could have just won with Dothy last turn. They're going to win this turn. Let's just move on. All right, we're on the draw for round 3. We have Flumph. We don't have a third land for anything else. This seems really slow, so let's mull this. All right, keep this hand, and this tutors the thing, so let's put Boromir back. Bauble, so another Murktide deck probably. Polluted Delta, Steam Vents, Preordain. Okay, so, yeah, I guess I just run this out. Selfless Savior, go. Opponent plays Spire Bluff. Kills our guy. Plays Darcy, which already has Delirium. All right, well, there's Flumph, so shock that in, play Flumph, then back to them. Petty Theft it back to our hand, eh? Plays a tap land, pops the Bauble, so I guess in upkeep in response to this trigger, I'm going to flash Bowmasters in, although it still doesn't kill Ragavan, or it still doesn't kill DRC. All right, flash in Bowmasters, target them. So then the Bauble resolves, triggers this again, target them. Drew a land. All right, play this tapped. Back to them. Burn spell for the Bowmasters. Taking 3 from Darcy down to 12. We're getting Murktided or what? Yep, Boromir, right? That doesn't really help. So Recruiter, I have to go find Bowmasters, and then what? And then next turn I'm still short unless I exactly draw another Selfless Saviors. All right, trigger this. Go grab another Bowmaster, then pass to them. So this sequence of events has to happen. I have to draw Selfless Savior, and they have to not have a counter spell or kill me this turn with Lightning Bolt. Expressive Iteration. Consider in exile. All right, 9, we go to 3. How do you feel about this deck? Is it as bad as people say? It feels pretty friggin' bad. So far, it feels awful. All right, fetch. We don't have a green source, so let's get that, I guess. All right, draw. Nope. All right, we're dead. So, Forge Tender, Giant Killer for Murktide. I guess is like a 1 of Sanctifier good to eat some of their graveyard, maybe. Then Haywire Might for Blood Moon, and then take out Boromir. Grist seems so bad in this matchup, actually. Like, I thought maybe it would be good, but no, it seems like it's awful. All right, let's submit that. All right, on the plate, we have a whole lot of nothing going on here, although I guess 2 Endurances is all right against them, so I'll keep. So I need to grab white and green, and then white and another color. So, yeah. All right, pass to them. Don't you need to have more than 60 cards in the main deck for the combo to work? No, because you can Endurance yourself mid-combo to get back to more cards than your opponent. Mishra's Bauble into Ragavan. All right, so sack this, go grab Temple Garden, then untap, Bauble goes on the stack. All right, Forest, play Flumph. Back to them. Another Bauble, cracks the Bauble. Second land, DRC, and then they're attacking with Ragavan. Sure, block. If they're going to do that, they should have waited to see what they drew from the Flumph. Unless, okay, they're just going to bolt it anyway so that they get Delirium. Sure. All right, bolt, Flumph trigger, we each draw a card. I'm just guessing I'm going to main phase this Endurance. Ooh, Aether Vial. We drew 2 cards because of the bolt. I just got to main phase this Endurance, get rid of their graveyard, probably. Yeah, all right. Fetch. It has to be a green source and a white source, which I don't have. So it has to be a second green. So no, it doesn't have to be a second green source. I have 2 green sources. So it should be a white source and then another source. So Sacred Foundry or Godless Shrine. I guess it's, if I grab Sacred Foundry now, I can grab Swamp later. All right, shock that in, play Endurance, and then target them. All right, so it's big enough that Heat doesn't kill it, that Heat and Bolt don't kill it until they have Delirium again. Red and blue, EI. This card's a land. Odawara in exile, so they're going to play that for their land. No, I guess not. Spire Bluff Canal. Another DRC. Man, Orcish Bowmasters would be such a good draw right now. All right, it's probably important to get this Aether Vial online. So, Aether Vial, Selfless Savior, then play a land, pass. Island, consider, bins a land, bins a Bauble. All right, so they have Delirium, which means they're going to what? Murktide, eat everything? Really? They're just going to suicide attack into us? All right. Well, I don't want to get hit by Ragavan, so I will block here, block here. All right, go to damage. This has 3 on it. They still have a Darcy, but that's fine. What's not fine is if they just Murktide post-combat. Bolt our guy. All right, thank God. They're not Murktiding. So I don't feel like they're going to Blood Moon. They also have only 1 blue source. That's probably correct to just get a Swamp here, right? All right, so take up Aether Vial, and then this one, they have 2 blue open. Fetch, grab the base planes. Oh man, if they just have Counterspell, it's like so bad. I needed Endurance. They didn't play Murktide that turn. They could have, but they didn't. All right, I guess let's just pass. Try to flash this stuff in. Bauble trigger, cracks the Bauble. Red and blue, cast Expressive Iteration. If they just find Murktide here, I have to take them off of Delirium. All right, so let's flash in Endurance. Dress down in response. So the dress down takes away the plus that this is giving, so let's just Bowmasters right now and target that. So then dress down will resolve, and then it'll lose its pump and die. Then dress down resolves. Then our Endurance resolves doing nothing, and then they Expressive. A land in exile. Doesn't play the land. And then their Bauble goes off in our upkeep, and we Bowmaster them again. So Bowmaster them, they go to 19. Then Aether Vial ticks up. I can just play 2 Ranger Captains right now. All right, so Ranger Captain, trigger. So let's make sure to go grab Giant Killer in case Murktide comes down. So grab Giant Killer, then fetch, grab another white source, shock this in, play another Ranger Captain. And then what's the other thing that I want to use? Burnt Forge Tender. All right, grab that. Combat, swing for 6, and then back to them. Plays Darcy. I don't think I'm supposed to sack Ranger Captain in response to that. So yeah, sure, Darcy. They have so much stuff in their graveyard anyway that I don't think it matters. Ragavan, Scalding Tarn. All right, they're just going to pass back to us. I have more 3-drops than 2-drops, so I think I'm supposed to just take this up to 3. All right, play Forge Tender. Combat, I guess swing with all the 3-power guys. Swing, swing, swing. All right, opponent was contemplating taking actions, but took no actions in the end, so they're at 4. Let's play Aether Vial, and then just pass back to them. End of turn, Brazen Borrower, targeting Forge Tender. All right, I'll sack so that they don't get a Borrower. That's fine. Opponent casts Lightning Bolt on us. Okay. We go to 5, and then we're dead to another bolt off the top. So actually, I need to stop in their upkeep. Okay, I meant to stop in their upkeep. I guess it doesn't matter because then they can just bolt us in our upkeep, right? But it would have stopped anything that draws extra cards. Fury. So they can sweep these guys out of the way and then attack for 5. Oh my god. Seriously? And that's another perfect Fury timing for one of our opponents. Unbelievable. All right. Round 4. All right, we are on the play. Sure. Keep. Play turn 1, giver, go. Oh, Urza. Well, this hand's not very good against Urza. Play land, go to combat, swing here. So I can, oh, okay, second tower, Talisman of Dominance. All right, fetch. Let's grab the colors that I'm missing. So I just need to find the missing pieces, basically. So land, fetch, planes, and then recruiter, trigger, go find bowmasters, keep hitting them with giver. Not really sure what variant of Tron this is. Cracks inscribed tablet and finds, just draws a card. All right, so now they've got Tron next turn. Well, I can either Ranger Captain and then sack it on their upkeep, or I can Coco. I probably should Ranger Captain, although that doesn't stop Ulamog. So let's just swing and then hold Coco open. So yeah, map for the last piece. Plays Karn. They can Karn for the ring, and then play the ring, and then I can't target them. So the only way I can stop them is to Coco into a Ranger Captain right now. All right, let's go fetch up probably another green source and another... I don't know that it matters. All right, shock that in. Play Coco. All right, what do we hit? It's most of the combo, so do this. And then the ring doesn't matter because we can do it in their upkeep. I guess they can what? They can Karn for Needle and Needle this, and then we just kill Karn. Walking Ballista. Well, doing it now really did not pay off. All right, Walking Ballista. Target this. In response, target, I don't know, Giver of Runes? They have killed Giver of Runes off. If I draw a land, I win. We drew a land. All right. Fetch. Grabbing. Doesn't matter. So, Boromir. Then sack Boromir. And play Bowmasters. Target Flumph. All right. Auto yield to the Flumph. And then we'll just keep going. We're at less cards than them, so I do have to Endurance at some point. This also fizzles if they have Dismember in their deck. All right, they've conceded to that. So versus Tron, Haywire Might to eat the map, or just other things in general, and that's basically it. Knight of Autumn for the same reason. Cutting, don't need double Endurance. Grist seems friggin' terrible here. Other than sometimes you'll want to kill Karn off, but other than that, Giver of Runes is also not terribly good. Yeah, I guess they might have like Dismember or like some other removal in their deck, so I should keep it. All right, let's run that. Way too slow, and we don't even have all the pieces. All right, that's a lot more of the pieces, and Aether Vial helps. Keep, put back. Maybe I just don't even bother with Aether Vial, but like I don't have a third land yet. So I have Selfless Savior. This actually lacks a lot, right? I guess Boromir is like not relevant. All right, put back Boromir. Urza's mine. Back to us. All right. Razor Verge, Aether Vial, and then over to the opponent. So it's Blue Tron, and they're playing Talisman of Dominance. Repeal Aether Vial back to our hand. Sure. Shock this in, play Aether Vial, play Selfless Savior. Back to them. Blast Zone, Inscribed Tablet. All right, Aether Vial, tick up. I can't kill that. So this one, fetch. I need to grab a different color. So let's grab black, I guess. Black or red. It's like the same deal. All right, let's grab black. Shock it in, play Ranger Captain. So trigger, I don't know what I'm getting. I guess Haywire Might, right? Yeah, all right. Grab Haywire Might, go to combat, swing. Spatial Contortion on Ranger Captain. Lorien revealed, cycled, plays an island. I don't think I'm supposed to vial this in because the Blast Zone just kills all our 1-drops next turn. I guess no, I can use Selfless Savior to keep it. So yeah, I should vial it in. All right, Aether Vial, tick up to 2. Grist, eh? All right, go to combat, swing. All right, play Grist, make an insect. Over to them. Pops the tablet and gets Urza's tower. Plays the tower. Pops Blast Zone, so sack, save this one. Then Blast Zone resolves and kills Aether Vial off. There's Bowmasters, so make another token with Grist. All right, let's just play another Ranger Captain, I suppose, and grab another Selfless Savior. And then combat, swing with these guys. Plays map. Pop the map. Uses tower to do it. Okay. Power plant. So back over to us. There's a land finally. Go to combat. Swing all. Opponent goes to 9. All right, I think I just hold Coco up, so plus Grist, then back to them. What would be really bad here? Like Cyclonic Rift? Like they can do that in response. Ugin. All right, stopping their upkeep. Sack Ranger Captain. Well, lots and lots of mana. Is it just going to be a giant ballista or something? No? A giant ballista. 5/5 ballista. Kill our dude. Trigger, we gain life. Shoot Grist. Shoot Grist. Shoot an insect. Not really sure why they're going all the way down to 1 here. All right, let's go fetch a red land and cast Coco. Coco. What do we hit? Flumph and Recruiter. All right, so Flumph and Recruiter. And then recruit for what exactly? Another Flumph in case this one dies, I guess. All right, another Bowmasters. Okay, so minus the Grist and sack this guy. Kill this Ballista so that it can't ping our Bowmasters. Kills a token, sure. We are 1 short of... No, we're not 1 short. So, Selfless Savior. Target here. Bowmasters. Target the Flumph. All right, auto-yield the Flumph and just keep on going. They can have, what, Subtlety or Commandeer is the only way out of this once we cast Endurance. Keep on going. They're responding at this point. So they let us draw a bunch of cards so that they would use Dismember. Okay, can't really respond to that. So, yeah. And then this one fizzles. They are at 5, though. Well, we're going to have to discard a bunch. So what's the best move here? Is it just play another Bowmasters to shoot them? So Swamp, Combat, attack with this Insect token, and put them to 4. And then just prep to do it again next turn. All right, clean up, discarding land, Vial, land, Giver, Night of Autumn, Coco. All right. Well, they have 16 cards, and, you know, Tron mana, so we'll see what they do here. Ugin, Shirt, Ugin sweeps. I'm sure they've got counter spells out of all of that. Palantir of Orthanc, map. Oh, they're tapping out with their blue mana? EE for 0, sure. Palantir trigger on inset. All right, Flash and Bowmasters. Target you. Play Spatial Contortion here, sure. So, draw a card. They just die if this Bowmasters resolves, so let's go Ranger Captain first just to protect from something. Trigger, sure, whatever. Use his ability. Grab Haywire Might, I guess. Sack Ranger Captain. Cast Bowmasters. Target you. Go to combat, attack with the Orc token. All right, we succeeded against Mono Blue Tron, of all things. On to the 5th and final round. All right, we're on the draw for the 5th and final round. This hand's fine. Another blue-red deck. All right. So let's see, I have the Swamp already, so I want to fetch Sacred Foundry and then a green source. So play that back to them. Misty. Cracks Misty. Gets a Forest. All right. Fetch here. Grabbing Sacred Foundry. Tapped. Then back to us. Upkeep, blue and green. Ice our land. Okay, so it's Rhinos. Sure. Play this, go. All right, there's the Cascade, so let's just fetch Temple Garden. And then 2 Rhinos. Yeah, whatever. Because we're on the draw, so we can't Ranger Captain. All right, I guess I stem the bleeding a little bit by playing Ranger Captain, and then I just find Flumph right now. I have to find multiple pieces, though, so I may as well be the most mana efficient and just go Ranger Captain, Subtlety. All right, sideboarding versus Rhinos. All the Draniths, and that's it. I guess they bring in Blood Moon, so bring in Haywire Might. Cutting, Grist is awful, and what else? Aether Vials. So mid-combo, the Endurance gets countered by their Subtleties, so that actually doesn't work. So therefore, I will only run 1 Endurance and then cut an Imperial Recruiter or one of these guys. Let's cut 1 Selfless Savior and submit that. All right, we got turn 2 Dranith, so we'll keep turn 2 Dranith, turn 3 Ranger Captain with Aether Vial, so we'll keep. Fetch, grab Temple Garden, shock this in, play Aether Vial. Wooded Foothills, back to us. So I can run this out now, and then it can get hit by Subtlety, but then I just play it again. So that seems fine. So use the Vial ability, take up to 1. Second Dranith. All right, fetch. Let's go grab a basic Forest in case we have to Haywire Might a Blood Moon. And then play Dranith. Opponent fetches, grabs a Forest, cycles Lorien revealed. Okay, Ketria Triumph tapped back to us. Aether Vial, take up to 2. Drew a Flumph. All right, so let's play the Flumph. Dismember on this guy. Aether Vial. Put another one out. All right, Flumph resolves. Put this down. I guess I could have responded to a Cascade spell in the stack, so I didn't need to do that. Breeding Pool. Oh my god, yeah, I screwed that up. So now they just Fury this and then Cascade. Well, completely messed that up. I hate modern so much. Oh, I'm going to be so glad to be done with these. All right, put this on 3. So now I just have to go find the combo. So let's do shock this in. Let's go vial out Ranger Captain, trigger, Selfless Savior, then Imperial Recruiter, trigger, go find Orcish Bowmasters, play the Savior, and then back over to them. Plays an island. Attacks with the Rhinos. Sure, no blocks. We go to 6. So this doesn't work against Subtlety. Haywire might. All right, play Haywire. So let's see. If I stop them in their upkeep, flash in the Bowmasters, they have to respond with Subtlety, and then I do it again. Problem is they can also just respond with other things. I guess so. I go sack Ranger Captain, then cast Bowmasters. Then they have to exactly have Subtlety, which if they do, it goes back to the top, and then it's 4 trample or 8 trample damage from just these guys, which means that it's just awful. So I don't have a window to do this. I guess I can Haywire my own Aether Vial in order to gain life. All right, set a stop on the upkeep. So go to combat, swing with Ranger, and then over to them. Oh, they're gonna cast it now? That makes 0 sense. Okay, they have 47 cards and we have 45 cards. So if the last card in their hand is another Subtlety, let me see. So I can block Subtlety with Orcish Bowmasters. The problem is I can't Endurance my own library. So their turn, I can put them all the way down to 2 cards in their deck, and then I have, right, so they're going to be 1 card. Yeah, the problem is that they'll just draw another Subtlety when off of all of the triggers, meaning if I try to Endurance, they just, well, if I invoke Endurance and then they evoke Subtlety, then I just put it back on top of my deck and keep drawing. All right, so we're good. So let's do it now. All right. So Bowmasters, targeting this. Selfless Savior, targeting this. Then save target here. All right, so they've conceded to that. Run back exactly the same thing, I guess. Giver of Rune Scene's so bad here. Let's just replace it with this. The only difference is against Petty Theft, basically. All right, run this. All right, we have every piece but Flumph. No way to get it, though. Opponent is mulling to 5. Island. Probably fetching Temple Garden, so let's do that. Well, another Boromir is a terrible draw, so back to them. Wooded Foothills, and then back to us. So fetch, go grab Temple Garden tapped. Oh, is this Rhinos again? They're going to ice us in upkeep. And since we're on the draw, we lose this game, whereas we would win if we had Ranger or Boromir on curve. Brilliant. All right, play a land, go. Well, it's a tap land, so we got a shot. I guess Ranger Captain's the better option between these two because Ranger can be sacked in response to a Fury. Oh, now they have ice. All right. Yeah, sure. Ice our land. Let's play this and hold Bowmasters up and then whatever. 4th land. Suspends Crashing Footfalls. They still don't have the Cascade spell or they have Violent Outburst. All right, so let's just flash in Bowmasters. All right, well, let's go fetch a basic Plains. Play Ranger Captain. It resolved, eh? What in the world do they have? Blue, blue, red. All right, use the ability. Yeah, so Haywire. And then play this dude. Flame of Anor on the Bowmasters. All right, is Flame of Anor stock in Rhinos now? Combat, swing with the army, then over to them. So that ticks down. Plays another land. Fetch. Fetch is tapped, though. All right, let's play Boromir. I guess I don't have to do that until post-combat, so let's just attack. Swing everything. All right, so land. Let's go fetch a red source in case we draw Recruiter. Shock this in. Play Boromir, then Haywire Might, and then back to the opponent. Lorien revealed, sure. Don't we have them dead on board? We have 9 power, so they have to have Fury, but they can't even Fury through Boromir. All right, go to combat. Swing all. All right, so only 2 and 3. The deck feels really bad. It has bad mana because you're having to stretch into 4 different colors in order to accommodate Recruiter. And I feel like if you want to go all in on the... Again, like whenever you see random, oh, it's a 1-of giver, like, no. I feel like if you want to do this, you should be more all in on the combo. So like Grist has no place in this deck. Aether Vial is just too slow now. Same thing, like Ranger Captain's fine because that has other utility. Imperial Recruiter feels pretty bad. I feel like you could just be on the Eladamri's Call version with cheaper ways of assembling all of these cards, and it would work just as well. You also want more ways to get the combo going. So for example, there's lots of times where you have to play stuff in the correct order because the only way you have to actually damage your Flumphs is Bowmasters. So you can't have Bowmasters already in play. It has to come out after Flumph. So there are other versions that are playing cards like Gut Shot or just other sources of damage to keep the combo going once you have everything out already. So I feel like that would probably be a better route to take with this deck. And obviously, the deck is just lacking certain cards. Like, there's no way to beat Tron with this deck, and it's not fast enough to consistently beat Tron either. So it requires a lot of tinkering for me to believe that it would actually be good.